We're back.
I skipped the intro today. Hit the wrong button.
Right to us.
Here
right
we
after that great intro music, straight
Yeah.
to us.
Straight to us. And we have a special guest today.
We do.
It's Amanda Olson with Dakota Hope Clinic and Festival of Trees.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How have you been?
Really good.
Enjoying fall?
Yes, but I'd love to be outside more to enjoy it more. You know.
Are we having a fall this year? I think that's
Yeah.
the question in North Dakota. Is like, is this a year we're going to have a fall? You know what I mean? And this is a year we have a fall. Last year we had a
Definitely.
very beautiful fall.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the leaves changing, and it was just very colorful. We don't always have those.
No, we don't.
Sometimes.
This year's been a long fall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it has
it's
been.
been great.
Last year
Yeah.
we had that nasty snow right before
Yes.
Halloween.
In
Yeah.
October.
This,
Yep.
this year we've gotten great weather.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. But that's not why you're here. You're not here to talk about the weather.
No, not.
No, not at all. So tell us a little bit about what the Festival of Trees is.
So Festival of Trees is a 2-day holiday event held the weekend before Thanksgiving. It's full of a ton of free things for anybody in the family. And then we also have a dinner and live auction.
Okay.
And everything supports Dakota Hope Clinic.
Okay, very cool. Last year, I remember us talking about it, and there was like some crazy fun things you guys had going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Some of
And
those
we've
things.
upped it this
We've
year.
upped it this year.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
You
you
know?
show up. What day is it again that's going to happen?
Starts November 22nd, and it's the 23rd, so Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
Perfect.
So about
Yep.
2 weeks,
Yep.
or is it next week? It's next week.
Oh, gosh, it is next week.
Yeah,
Don't
time
tell me
flies.
that.
Yeah,
Week
time
and a
is
half.
flying
Okay,
by.
I'm going to have a panic attack.
So next week, and happens Friday and Saturday. What are some of the fun things going on Friday and Saturday?
Okay, so Friday, doors open at 12 p.m.
Okay.
So people can come, walk through, see all the things on silent auction. And this year's silent auction, I think, is going to be the best we've ever had.
Oh,
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, like the amount of stuff, and we've upped our game with guy
Awesome.
stuff, finally. We have upped
It was time.
Yes. And then, and so Friday afternoon, we have different like kids choirs and different
Okay.
kid performances happening that afternoon. And then Friday evening, we have photos with Santa. We have our photo booth open. And new this year, we have an illusionist. His name is David
Interesting.
Laughlin coming. And he's an illusionist. He's going to be doing some Christmas holiday theme illusion.
Wow.
What that entails,
We'll find
I don't
out.
know. I'm going to be surprised too.
You're looking forward
but
to it.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
And all of our events, except for the dinner and live auction, are free will donation.
Okay. Very neat. Very neat.
How many exhibits do you have in the live auction? Do you know?
Well, that is my main job.
No.
So she does
And
know?
right
You're ready
now,
for this.
We're at 24 live auction items. And this year we have a lot of different cool things. We have a Star Wars themed tree.
Oh my.
And that is going to be like the
I feel like that's going to be one of the big ones.
biggest, yes. And there's like Lego sets with it. There's signed things with it. I mean, it's going to be your all, like anything you can imagine for Star Wars, it's going to be with
It's
that
the
tree.
whole 9 yards.
Yes.
I love
Yep.
it.
We have a sleigh, one of those nice, beautiful, big outdoor sleighs. We have, there's going to be a gun on there.
Oh my.
Oh man.
Yes. See,
Oh,
up in the guy
you
game.
were.
Up in the guy game.
No joke.
Nope. There's going to be a plum crazy for Christmas. There's a happy birthday Jesus tree. There's a country Christmas tree. And we even have a couple trips. One's going to be an Arizona getaway trip, and then another one's like a national park getaway trip.
Sure. Those would be fantastic.
So some really cool things.
No, undoubtedly. I could
Yep.
imagine people would I would love to sign up or try to get that national park trip. That
Me
sounds
too.
like a blast.
Yep.
So you're going to try, right?
I mean, I might have
Yeah.
to now all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
Yep.
Speaking of
You
that.
are now.
I
Yeah.
know, I'm
Does it
trapped
cost to get into this thing?
So Friday and Saturday, it's free to get into the doors. What we charge for is tickets for the dinner and live auction.
Okay.
Sure.
And if you're going to be there in person to have our lovely, delicious catered meal by LBJ Texas
Hey.
Barbecue.
Oh.
It's a classic.
Yes. So if you're going to if you're going to be at the event bidding at the North Dakota State Fair, then you do need a ticket to get into for the live auction.
Okay.
But you can bid on your phone from home
Okay.
Really?
without purchasing a ticket.
I see.
Okay.
So Kyler does not have to actually show up. He
And I
he
can
can
still
just
bid it.
You
home.
can sit at home in front of your TV and bid.
There you go.
That sounds like my
even
kind.
on the live auction.
Wow, I love
That's
that.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's some good technology
that
right
is.
there.
You guys
it's
are
awesome.
you guys are innovating. I love it.
It's fun.
That's what Dakota Hope Clinic does. Is they innovate. Yeah.
Of course.
Don't second guess them, Kyler.
I think I'm calling it out.
Okay.
I'm highlighting it rather
There you
than
go.
second guessing it.
Sounds good. All right. Yeah. So you can go and be a part of the silent auction or the live auction from home. Doesn't cost you anything. You're able to get an app. Where do you find that app? You just go to Dakota Hope.
Festivetrees.com.
There.
Right now, I need to make it live so you can go on there and
That's fine.
actually do the whole
Yeah.
get, register without a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my job, so I got to do that when I leave here today.
Yep.
But or you can purchase the ticket, and now purchasing tickets is at festivetrees.com.
Festive Trees. FEST of trees.com.
Correct.
Festivetrees.com. You're able to be a part of the live auction or the silent auction, and you're able to buy your tickets from there.
Yep.
Or sponsor or whatever.
Correct.
I'm sure that it takes a lot of stuff in order to be able to make this event happen, whether that's volunteers or whatever. Talk a little bit about that. Are you guys in need of volunteers? Or is everything
Absolutely.
Okay? Always
Yes.
volunteers.
Always volunteers. This is a huge event, and we cannot do any of it without volunteers. And we're very thankful for our volunteers. So we can use help Tuesday of next week through Sunday. And another place to go and register to see what shifts and stuff that we need for volunteers is also at festivetrees.com.
Okay.
And you can sign up for as many shifts as you want, or even if it's just an hour or two and that's all you have, by all means, just come and help out. And we're also looking for bake sale items for our bake sale.
Sure.
And that's a free will donation too for our bake sale stuff. So we're looking for baked goods.
What kind of jobs should people that are volunteering be expecting to be signing up for?
Well, there's a lot of different ones. So Tuesday, we just need help hauling things from different places of where
Sure.
we're working on stuff to the fairgrounds.
Just go in place, point
so
A to
that's
point B.
Tuesday. Wednesday, we need help just basically at the event center doing setup. And if you're a person that, can't get up and move around, then we give you something that, you need to be
You can be
in one
stationary
spot.
for it, yeah.
And we kind of try to do what people are good at.
Yep.
Or whatever limitations they have, let us know and we can work around that. So that's Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, Saturday, we need help during the event
Sure.
itself. And then Saturday night, we always need help cleaning up.
Some cleanup, of course.
And then Sunday afternoon, we need help with tree delivery.
Fair.
Yep.
Lo and behold, people that bought the trees, now
Yep.
they got to get delivered to them.
Yep. So the live auction trees, we actually deliver the next day within a 25-mile radius of
Okay.
Minot.
Well, that's a fantastic deal.
Yep. Yep. And new last year, we started Raffle Row, where anybody can win a tree.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so you can just buy raffle tickets and then win a tree. Those we do not deliver. People
Okay.
either have to take them home that night or pick them up. The
So if
next
you
day.
sign up if you buy the raffle ticket to win the tree, that one is not delivered by Dakota.
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
Correct.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Well, I look forward to that. That sounds like
Yeah.
How about this? I bet can you buy the raffle tickets online too? Or is that in person only?
In person only because
Okay.
you need to put it in.
And you have to get
Yeah.
both sides of the ticket. That makes
Yep,
sense. I
yep.
get that. No, completely. Fair.
Yeah.
Innovation has its limits.
Yeah, I mean,
it does. Unfortunately.
still though, I mean,
Yeah.
as far as you guys are going with it, it's going to be a fantastic event the way
Yeah.
it sounds.
Yep. And then Saturday, some of the events we have Saturday, we have a 5K run.
Yes, I remember this 5K
Do
run.
you?
Oh, are you signing up, Jonathan?
I did not
Are
participate.
you? Oh,
in-
but you are this year, right?
No,
Of course he is.
I could
You can
this year.
actually have the family do it,
Dude, no one wants to see me run a 5K.
You can walk the 5K.
Yeah, there you go. If Kyler does it, I'll think about it.
There you go.
I will do
I'd
it.
pay
I'll
to
do it
see
if you
that
do
one.
it. We'll speed walk through the 5K.
Well, and the fun with like the team run, there's different stations that you have to do different challenges.
Okay.
Oh no.
And then people do a competition with the best dressed.
Okay.
And so, people wear their Christmas pajamas
Yeah.
or they wear their ugly sweaters. Or
Jonathan, you can
whatever.
wear your suit.
Yeah.
You can wear your elf costume.
Yeah.
I have I think it's a reindeer. I think I'm a
Oh, there you
reindeer.
go.
I have a
Perfect.
reindeer.
Wait, you have a reindeer costume?
Yeah.
Oh my lord!
Why would you not think I have a
need-
reindeer
Why would he
costume?
not have
I need to
Yeah.
see you in it. I think that's
I mean,
the
why
bigger-
not?
Why not see you in it? That's great. We should
I
come
mean,
Christmas time. We
I
should
mean,
dress
why
up.
not?
I'll be
Yeah,
Santa. You
okay.
can be a reindeer.
I'll think about it. There's no way I'm going to be a reindeer and you're going to be Santa. I will not participate in that.
You just said you'd think
You're no
about
fun.
it.
I mean, I don't mind being a reindeer, but not if you're Santa.
Well, what should I be then? A reindeer too? I'll be the bigger.
You can be an
reindeer?
elf.
No.
There you go, elf.
Okay.
So speaking of elf,
Yes.
we are going to have Buddy the elf
Really.
reading Buddy the elf story to
Buddy the elf coming down
Yes.
from
The North Pole.
the North Pole.
Yep, yep.
And
My whole
Santa's-
committee knows if I am disappeared, I'm with Buddy the elf. Because I love elf.
I
Who
see.
doesn't?
I know.
That's
I
great.
know.
So dinner live auction. There's gonna be a Santa and Mrs. Claus photo booth.
Yep. A regular photo booth for
Fa-
people to get like even Christmas cards done
Wow.
or just any kind of family photo that they want.
Straight up family. Okay. Holiday shops. Horse-drawn wagon rides.
Yep.
Really?
Oh, we kind of do everything. And then this year we started North Pole Play Zone.
Okay.
So we're going to have bouncy houses.
Oh wow.
Because why not have bouncy houses?
I mean, why not?
I mean,
Of
it
course.
just makes
yeah,
sense.
at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Kids
not?
love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we have a petting zoo.
See.
Follow
I
the
mean-
Star has real live animals this year.
Yikes. That's
Hence
awesome.
just the petting zoo to go with it.
Okay.
Right.
That's cool. That's cool. Very good. It's got it all. And again, that's happening next weekend.
Yep.
So if somebody's trying to find something to do next weekend, you don't need to look any further than the Festival of
We have
Trees.
fantastic opportunity.
Because if you're looking for a petting zoo,
guess
you
what?
just got to go to the Festival of Trees. If you're looking to do a 5K, if you're looking to do a
You wanna work
weekend
out?
run, Festival of
Festival
Trees. If you're looking to get the family photos taken finally, because you haven't done it for the past few holiday seasons,
Festival of Trees.
I mean, it's just right there. It's that easy. If you're looking for dinner on a Friday night, Festival of Trees. Why not?
gonna be
It's got it all there. I think we got our point across, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
And, okay, so one more question. You guys have the LBJ Texas barbecue. Do you know what all they're going to be serving?
Yes.
Barbecue.
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 Do
That's-
I remember? I think it was smoked turkey, which is to die
Oh
for.
my.
I could imagine.
Get an early Thanksgiving treat.
Oh, I think we chose the smoked turkey. You know, you kind of go over things so much, but
It's one of those
I thought
things.
but it was just it's
That
so
sounds
good.
fantastic. Oh,
it's
and
so good.
No, anything you're going to get from there is going to
Yeah,
be fantastic.
it is just amazing.
They do your guys' annual banquet normally. They-
I don't know if they did this last.
Oh, they didn't. They may not. They did it last
This
year.
year, I mean, but
Yeah.
they did it the year before.
Yeah, it
really
was good. Yeah, they always do a fantastic job
Yeah.
whenever they show up. Tell us, we focus a lot on the Festival of Trees, but just for a minute, talk about Dakota Hope and how Festival of Trees ties into the Dakota Hope and how it kind of supports that.
So, Festival of Trees benefits Dakota Hope Clinic. So all the funds raised for the event goes to Dakota Hope Clinic. Dakota Hope is Minot's only free pregnancy help center. Different things that they offer are support services. So if someone finds out they're pregnant, and when that happens, people are very overwhelmed. They don't know what to do, don't know, just in general what to think, and they're there to support people with just answering questions. They can just do basic, pregnancy testing even. And then they offer ultrasounds to clients to show them that the baby's heart is beating. And then they're there to support people through that pregnancy. So
Okay.
Moms and dads can attend parenting classes
Wow.
and then earn baby bucks to get free items from their baby store. They have a post-abortion counseling support group. I'm trying to think. They have post-abortion. My brain is totally spacing out.
Well, you're so
what
focused
everything-
on the Festival of
Oh my gosh,
Trees.
it kind of is. It's like over your out, right?
We do our best to throw a few curveballs.
Yes,
we
it
try.
does. They also refer, like if someone comes to town, they're new to town, and they don't know who to go see for an OB doctor, they will refer
Able
them
to
to
help.
there, or they will refer them to like therapy services or kind of whatever support that they need in the
Right.
community. It's just a huge resource for that.
What's the best way to contact the Dakota Hope Clinic? By the phone or to stop in person?
I'd stop in a person or call them.
Fair.
Yep, definitely. And
Best-
dakotahope.org is their website.
Perfect. Those are your best bets to get into contact with them.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Well, is there anything that we missed about Festival of Trees? I feel like we've been
Oh
pretty
my gosh.
comprehensive. Well, I mean, other than actually showing up.
Right.
Because
True.
somebody does not want to miss that part of it. But as far as talking about
hard.
Festival of Trees, I think we covered a lot of it.
We did.
Yeah. So
I think we did good.
very cool.
Any
If-
parting words or final notions you'd like to mention?
just would love to see everybody come and just visit our website, festivetrees.com, for really anything that you need. Sign up for volunteer. You can register to bring baked goods on the same volunteer link and purchase dinner and live auction tickets.
Perfect.
Are there specific baked goods that you guys like prefer? I know that's a random question probably.
No.
So like from scones to cookies.
Oh, yeah, anything.
It doesn't matter.
People even will bring baked bread.
There you
know,
go.
Fair enough.
pies,
Sourdough,
whatever.
man.
Yeah.
That's popular.
Whatever you like.
There you go.
Right.
Whatever you like. Because
Right.
somebody else probably likes it too.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good. Festivetrees.com. If you're not able to make it at all, there's a donate button where you can just support,
Absolutely.
make sure it happens.
Yep.
So there you go. Well, I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We're going to go to a quick ad and then we'll be back in right around 1 minute to talk about some city stuff that's going on. If I can find my ad button.
Uh-oh. It's there somewhere.
It's there
It's
somewhere.
a great ad. It's
yeah,
a
it's
drone
very good.
servicing ad. I just watched it for the first
He
time a
finally
couple
did.
weeks ago. It was really neat.
Yeah. Here we go.
In the demanding world of oil and gas, precision, safety, and efficiency are non-negotiable. Unmanned operator drone services revolutionizes how you monitor, inspect, and manage your operations. With cutting-edge technology and expert operators, we deliver real-time data, detailed reports, and actionable insights for our valuable clients. Why risk the safety of your team or waste precious time? Our drones access even the most challenging areas with ease, reducing downtime and enhancing safety across your sites. We take the guesswork out of your projects by offering LiDAR, mapping, and inspection services so that your projects stay safe, on budget, and on time. Unmanned operator drone services, where technology meets safety, precision, and efficiency. Contact us today to elevate your operations. Yes, pun intended.
I was half a second late
We're
switching
back.
out. We got a complete black screen. We don't like stuff like that around here at the Dakotan. We try to operate without technical difficulties.
Because we are professionals. We never have technical difficulties, and we know exactly what we're doing 100% of the time.
As we're saying that, we're probably muted. But
That was a great
one
conversation.
thing,
Oh, go ahead.
one thing that's cool about this live stream, it's on Twitter. It's on X.
You're on X.
We're on X.
So if you're watching us on X right now, leave a comment.
Yeah,
This
give
is
her
the
give
first-
her a repost or whatever they call it over there.
Yeah, instead of it used to be retweet. Now it's something new. 'Cause
But-
this is like Jonathan said, our first live stream onto X, and are trying to foray into that. So
Yep.
please let us know if you're watching there too.
And we were also trying, and somehow we failed, so we'll have to test it a little bit more to get on a live stream on Rumble.
We're working on that.
Because we're trying out every platform.
We want to be available everywhere.
We want to not be suppressed or depressed
That too. Yeah.
or oppressed.
Any kind of pressed you want to be.
We want to simply be the press.
Exactly.
right.
Oh, look at
There we
that.
go.
That was genius. I
So,
like that.
Festival of Trees sounds like a great time.
It does. It sounds like great food. Sounds like a good time.
Dude,
sounds like some great
honestly,
events.
the family photo booth, that's nice.
So, real quick story here. So last year, as a semi-joke, I decided to make a Christmas card.
He did.
And all of the pictures just include me doing random things. Would it be funny to include a picture of just myself in the family photo booth at the Festival of Trees?
This is what needs to happen. You need to get someone that will put like a completely black spandex thing on.
Okay.
And like two kids in black spandex. And it be you next to them with two kids sitting in the family photo booth.
To be determined.
Yes.
It's genius. I love it.
You should do that.
I think we might have to. I might have to finesse getting there now all of a sudden.
Or
Just-
you
just-
could do your Santa Claus outfit that you're so wanting to bring out.
Well, then you'd have to be involved in it too.
I
Be
don't
Santa
have
in
to
his
be
ring.
involved in your family photo. Actually, that does not have to happen.
Oh, I love it. That'd
But-
be a trip.
I'm not opposed to breaking out a reindeer. I think it's a
Costume.
reindeer's costume.
He doesn't even know for sure.
It's one of those things you get from Walmart that is
like $10.
looks like you're supposed looks like it's like full size pajamas or whatever. You know what I mean?
It's just a big onesie.
yeah.
Yeah, with some
So,
antlers.
yeah.
Maybe a red button for your nose.
Scares your kid pretty good. It might just be a moose. I have no idea. I mean, I wear it. I don't look at it,
it's
man.
just a moose costume. Yeah.
There should be a Dakotan Christmas card.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, maybe we
that,
will.
That could be, yeah. He can be the elf and I'll be the reindeer.
It would be perfect. I love it.
Sounds like a good time.
I'm looking forward to
All
this.
right. We got some stuff.
Yeah,
'cause
real news. Things have actually happened in
Things
Minot
have been
last
happening
week.
around town. So
Lo and
let's
behold.
jump into it, Kyler.
Okay, so let's start with the park board. Actually, should we start there or should we start with the Knutson trial?
Yeah, just briefly touch on the Knutson trial.
Yeah, so real fast on that, there was an update. We mentioned it last week that the courts were thinking about moving the trial back a couple months. Originally it was in January. Now is confirmed is going to be moved back into March. Still going to be in Grand Forks. But yeah, looks like another 2 months going to have to wait. I think everyone in Minot's been following this story pretty closely for the past couple of years, and hopefully finally this March, we will have an actual trial happen with this.
Interesting. I think it feels like it's about time because it's definitely had the process where it's been drawn out. That part of the process has happened.
Yep.
Now it's time to actually see what happens. And there's no winners in that situation.
No.
There's just no winners in that situation just because of how much time has expired
Yep.
since it was originally happened.
Yeah, let alone the original case.
Yeah, I'm talking about the original case.
So yeah, we're all going on almost 20 years now.
Yeah, so that makes it where there's no winners because the family can't. I mean, I don't know how families ever win in that situation, but just because of the 20 years, it makes it even that much harder for them. So whatever happens there, it's a sad deal, and it'd be good for it to be resolved.
Yeah, one way or the other, just
Yep.
however it might turn out.
Absolutely. Another quick update is on the Minot Police Department Klug investigation.
Yeah, that was part of why it was part of a couple requests, but that was one of the requests of why they wanted to have the trial moved to
Right.
March, was any potential links that could happen with that.
Another reason why they wanted it moved.
Yeah.
And we did reach out to the city just for an update on that because we are getting down to the wire. Things are supposed to be happening.
Yeah. Initially, they said sometime, I think, middle of November. We're starting to roll into that.
It feels like it might be middle of November, just based off the weather. The attorney tasked with the investigation was in town for follow-up interviews the week of October 28th. And the city is expecting her final report soon, and then it will be released. They just have to take care of, before it's released, they have to make sure that the proper things are hidden. When we get our hands on that report, we are planning on doing a special live stream on that, where we will be
going
through the details.
Yep.
You've got jokes today.
We'll
be going through the details of that and kind of talking through it. So we are...
unironically, that will be something good that we're going to have to look forward to sit down. Don't know how long it'll take. We have to look at it for at least briefly before we can, at least that way we can contextualize it a little bit better. But when we get it, expect to see a special Minot Talk from us going live.
I don't know if it's good. I don't know. You said it's going to be... It'll be good for us. I don't know if
it will be good for you, the viewer, to watch us.
It'll be good to tune in, and I think there will be some good things for Minot just to have resolution on it, because it seems like there's a lot of things just across the state right now that, and I have no idea what the findings for the Minot Police Department will bring, but across the state where there's just a lot of weird things happening, and it's not good for North Dakota.
It's very strange and murky for North Dakota right now, and much more so than, take this with a grain of salt, that I think I've seen in my lifetime. Yeah, and it's wild.
Yeah, but you say that, and so part of what we're talking about is the Dunseith debacle, is what we've called it here at the Dakota, and there are other things that lead off of it, and you haven't seen it in your lifetime, because if the stuff that we've been looking into is true, where we can eventually take off the allegation tag off of it, it has happened in your lifetime. It's finally coming to light.
Yeah, this is fair. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
It's been underneath the surface for years.
Finally being revealed.
And it's finally gotten to the place where some people didn't cover their tracks as well as they should, and exposure is starting to happen. Yeah, which is a terrible thing, but that's how things like that work.
Expect to keep watching us for updates on that. We will have another interview with Mr. Charles Hofer coming, at least one interview coming out this week, if not two. Yeah. And so expect that probably, Thursday, Friday?
Right. And expect some stuff for the police department here in the next. I'm hoping that we have the details sometime next week. That's what I'm hoping for. But we'll see.
Post city council.
I
next
hope it's
week or
before
something.
Thanksgiving.
Fingers crossed. Speaking of that, real quick production update while we're on air. What are we going to do that morning?
Yeah, let's
Thanksgiving
talk about. Let's have a let's have a production meeting right now.
fast, yeah.
Let's do it.
To be determined.
If you would actually tune into us at 8 a.m. Thursday morning, let us know. Because if you tune in, we might do it.
Maybe we will. We'll think about it. Otherwise,
hey, I want to say one more production note.
please, yeah. Since we're here,
You're not red today.
I know. Look at me. I might be a tad pink, but like I'm looking good.
We actually had. I don't even know if you're that. That might be your real color, man.
I think this is.
You might
this is
should
just
take
how I look.
take a look at that.
I just need to get
a better mirror.
tan or something.
Because we actually had a professional come in and fix our cameras.
Exactly. So now I'm properly lit. You can see me in all of my glory.
I would give the professional a shout out, but he might not want to be associated with us. So
Fair enough. We appreciate you regardless.
he's
though.
in our same office for the people that have stopped by. All right, moving on. The big meeting that was happening today, and sadly we were in another meeting, so we were
Couldn't
trying to
attend
juggle.
in person.
We did listen to it a little bit. Looks like there's a 0.5% sales tax being proposed
for the city of Minot.
by the Park District
Yep.
for the city of Minot.
Yeah.
Just before you dive into anything else, what are your thoughts on a 0.5% sales tax that will partially alleviate taxes on an annual basis for a $250,000 home? It'll alleviate it by $170.
You want my opinion, or you want me to try to break that down?
No, I want your opinion.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like taxes. Sales.
Yes, I get that we don't like taxes, but are you fine with the route
No.
that is being talked about of increasing sales tax to get rid of property tax?
Okay. Objectively, I think I like the idea on the surface. I think that it has a good potential to work and that it could help alleviate some legitimate property tax issues. Personally, I don't think it's a good idea to replace one tax with another because you're still being taxed and we're still paying for it one way or the other. If that makes sense.
Right. So what's your solution to taxes?
I am not a legislator, and I have no solution to where the tax money should come from. Whether it should just be cut out of unnecessary places, of those I can't name a specific one right this minute, or however else it's supposed to be done, I don't know. I'm not the one trying to grab that that information. However, I feel the way it was presented. I shared my personal opinion on it, but I also want to be objective and realize that this is something that's going to happen regardless, probably.
Okay, so under the idea that there has to be taxes.
Yes, and I accept that 100%.
Okay.
Not
Are
any
you
kind of
fine with a sales tax over a property tax? Do you buy into the thinking that a sales tax is a more fair tax, and so then it is all right?
on the surface? Yeah, I think surface level sales tax are more fair. Everyone's buying stuff, so if it's within the state of North Dakota and you're a resident, regardless of how it is, you're going to be paying for it. I think surface level, yes, it is more fair. I feel like I can't name anything. This is me just thinking off the top of my head. I'm sure there are reasons where people can work around that somehow, but I think surface level,
What do you mean work around it?
Well, they could find a loophole around the sales tax.
Not
They
pay
just
sales tax?
buy stuff out of state, buy it from
Nope.
a different place.
Doesn't work like that anymore.
Fair
So,
enough.
and this is interesting because I was thinking about this exactly thing, and I'll tell you a loophole that I thought of.
See, Jonathan's
Okay.
had more thought on this. I'm just spitballing off the top of my head. He's looked into this. Let's go.
Because so first off, go down the path that we go and start heavily implementing sales tax.
Yep.
Okay, it's not going to, if this was to take steam, I don't think it ends with just the park district doing it. I think that you begin to see
Other.
lame. I think you'll begin to see other places doing it as well. So I think that you'll see the actual city of Minot go and try to get a sales tax to decrease property tax and stuff.
So,
But this
Go
is
ahead.
my deal. So we get to a 10% sales tax.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2.5% more than what we already have.
Yes.
This is the way that sales tax works. It's based off nexus.
Sure.
So Amazon had a switch where they started having to pay, you had to pay taxes based off where you are located as the resident. Before, you were able to go online and buy from Amazon, and you didn't have to pay sales tax. It was
Yep.
one of those cool
I
things
remember
about
that.
ordering online.
Yeah, 100%.
A couple years ago, that changed.
That did. You're right. I remember that.
Now you have to pay sales tax based off where you're at.
Yep.
B&H Photo got riled up about this. They got a credit card that you could buy, and they would match rewards for you based off of how much sales tax you paid, because they're like, we don't like this rule, so we'll get. And I don't know, I'm sure you still paid for it somehow, because that's how
Some
business
way or
works,
not,
right? But
yeah.
in theory, in Minot, you were getting a 7.5% sales tax. That's what you're paying. Then you got 7.5% rewards on that purchase, so you got it reimbursed to you. Okay, so that's how sales tax works.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
There's that nexus that's done, and like Alderwoman Olson saying, a sales tax is paid by everyone making purchases in Minot instead of a property tax that is levied only on property owners within city limits.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this is my thought. What could happen is people would look to be, if the city of Minot had those levied. So if you're in Minot, you have that, people would look to buy in Ward County. And if you're nefarious, you'd look to buy in Ward County, and you'd order more stuff online.
So,
Because then you would not pay your Minot sales tax.
Exactly. And would you be able to do that just by using like a VPN? Could you even theoretically?
Well, you have to put in your address. You have to put in.
So
it's based off your. It's
so it
based off
bases
of
it
where you're
address,
mailing
not
it.
like your IP, your VPN or anything.
Right.
Okay.
It's not. It's not the
Okay.
VPN. It's
I
your.
understand.
It's
I
where
get-
you're going to be delivered. So that and to go and actually like have somebody set up temporary mailboxes outside of town and
That's
something like
just
that. I think that's
such a-
way far out there.
Yeah,
I don't think that happens.
100%, I agree.
Somebody mentioned. I think eventually you'll drive traffic out of Minot. People go to Bismarck for more purchases. I'll say personally, I'm not going to drive. There's a chance that I'll start buying from Costco and Sam's Club more in the next 2 or 3 years.
But aside
it's
from that,
sales tax has no factor in my decision to do that.
no.
Whether you're going to buy a big purchase, maybe you would think about it. If you're going to spend $2,000 or $3,000, and there was you could get a 3% discount. But again, 3% discount. Think about that. You're going to spend $1,000, and you can get it 3% cheaper in Bismarck. Are you literally going to spend 4 hours of your day driving, spending money on gas money just to make that purchase?
Personally, no.
Right.
I wouldn't.
I don't see it really changing people's buying habits. And I agree with the idea that sales tax is a more fair tax. I totally agree with that. I just think you have a 0.5% by the park district, and that lowers it by, I was trying to pull up the exact numbers, and somehow I've lost these files that I had. I got it now, so I'll pull it up here in a minute. So I'll give you some hard numbers on it. But you're not going to be able to get rid of property tax completely with sales tax. That's the end of the day numbers.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Where it draws down to is you can't fully replace property tax with
I don't
sales
think
tax.
so. I don't see that happening.
Not unless you make some kind of
So-
at a certain point, what percentage gets too high where people start getting upset then with that too? Just
I think if you go above the 10% sales tax, which is
so.
already very high, I just think that at that point it's outrageously high.
Yeah, I think people really start asking questions then. So right now, Minot's obviously we're at 7.5%. I'm just Googling here.
We've talked about this. We've talked about this exact because
have
we
with
compared
John-
it to Vegas.
and we talked. I think it was John Kerry was
Maybe.
here, I think. But regardless, yeah, Bismarck's is at 6.5%. So we're already a percent higher than Bismarck for sales tax, which I don't. Is what it is. I don't think I'm not advocating one way or another for that. That's just stating
we're
what it is.
we're definitely we're 0.5% higher.
1 full percent. They're at 6.5.
We're definitely 1% better than Bismarck, though. So it's all right.
Of course. Minot residents will always agree with that. But I think you make a good point with, I don't know if we'll be able to actually fully cover replacing property tax with sales tax. And on the flip side of that, there becomes a limit where people start raising hands and start fists in the air at that point.
So I think we got Alderman Olson says, I think both Bismarck and Mandan will be raising their sales tax as of January 1, 2025. So that's really good basis. Dan is saying we're taxed to the max. People are having a hard time surviving already.
Yeah, so actually with that comment, unless you want to say something first here.
Well, here's the deal. And I get that there's like this whole conversation of like why forefathers came to America, taxes and all this stuff. And I understand that there's a lot to it, but already, so North Dakota has a very low income tax, and Lieutenant Governor, and I know she's not going to be that anymore, Tammy Miller, was saying, hey, I think in this legislative session we would have an opportunity to get rid of income tax altogether. It's very low income tax in the state. I know that's not federal, but in the state. We are very upset about property taxes right now. It didn't get reformed through the Measure 4. There was a lot of bad things about that measure if it got put into place. I was not a fan of that, how that measure read. I voted yes on it. I said I was going to vote yes on it. I followed through with my word. And about a week before, I was like, dude, I hate that I said that, because I really don't want to do that. But the one of the main reasons why I was willing to continue to vote yes on it was because I wanted it to be closed so that way it would catch the attention of the legislature.
You wanted the hand to be forced even if it didn't get
And I don't know
passed.
that it was close enough to do that. Though there's a lot of legislatures that are presenting plans.
Well, and I know
that'll be
Governor-elect
brought up.
Armstrong has made that one of his primary
Right.
points of trying to accomplish something in his first legislative session, too.
But I say all this to say this about taxes. Like, we kind of want this, living under this guise that things are really tight right now, and so we should just get rid of taxes. And I don't see how that's possible. I don't see how that part's possible.
Yeah,
There's got to be a tax from somewhere, I think.
Well, yeah.
That's controversial
No.
in some circles.
Yeah, and I used to love those circles. But practicality and pragmatism came around at some point, and realized that if the roads are to be built, I don't know if I necessarily want to trust private individuals to be the ones to do it. Not because they won't do it, but because of might be tying myself in knots, but I don't want to. I don't want the lack of regulations. I don't want them to have to force us to pay to use said roads. That's obviously the extreme of that argument, but surface level, I think it's necessary for at least some tax. However, they go overboard a lot of the time, and I think reductions are necessary, and I think right now they are too. I think we are being overtaxed at the moment. However, to circle all the way back, what are the things that this proposed increase in tax would be used for?
Right. So it will decrease the mills by the park district from 38 mills to 26 mills. And then it will also be used for the financing and construction of a new indoor turf facility, and to provide general funds for the operation of the park district. And because they'll be used for the general funds, that's why there'll be the decrease to the mills. So that's the main thing. There may be some other things that's used for as far as just maintenance and things like that, which was probably what the general fund dollars is referring to. But the main thing is the new indoor turf facility. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the part to me that's really curious about this. This is a project that I believe that they've been thinking about and working on for a while.
I know there's been talks about things like that for a hot minute.
And at least have it, if it wasn't the turf facility, it was a different facility. And it's probably time for Minot to get one. I think I guess it is part of this discussion, but right now we're really focused on the taxes. I get that it probably has to be included, but there's definitely a give and take with this tax.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not just we're doing a 0.5% sales tax to lower property taxes. That's not what's going on.
No, it might happen eventually that is used.
Well,
as
immediately it is reducing property taxes.
The mills are getting reduced,
and it'll reduce it $170 per year for a $250,000 house, estimatedly.
Yeah, but
it's still being used for
other
new stuff as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm opposed to the new thing, and I'm not even saying that I'm opposed to the idea, because this is a very tough one, and I believe that it passed 6-0 today.
I know
to
it passed.
proceed to the next step in the process.
I know it passed the park board 5-0.
Yeah, and
So then
today
it went
they
today to meet with.
at 1:00 there was a special.
They had a
city
joint
council
meeting between city council and park board.
Yep, and just briefly we were doing it, trying to catch up because we had a meeting that was supposed to be done so we could track along, and it
Went a little long.
It went about an hour long.
Totally didn't get done until like 5 minutes before this, but it's fine.
So, but it did pass through the city. So it'll be interesting to see. The other thing that I'm not a fan of, and I can't really comment on this too much, and I'm going to get corrected on this, and I'm sorry because I'm not knowledgeable. So I am prefacing this as much as I can, is the fact that there's going to be a special election for it. Not a fan of that.
Yeah, that's interesting because I saw that was part of it, is that the citizens of Minot will have to vote on it to approve it.
Right, which is the way it is for any sales tax.
Yeah.
But there has to be a special election because they didn't want it on the same ballot as the
Measure 4.
Measure 4, because it was going to talk about property tax,
Yeah.
and they were saying, well, if that happens, we're going to have to restructure everything completely.
Because that was part of their whole deal, was they were waiting for Measure 4 to be, whether it was approved or shot down, they were waiting for a resolution on that before they presented this whole plan.
Right. So we will be reaching out to the Park District to try to get an interview, talk more specific about how this came about, why it's come about,
Yeah. Hammer down
where
some
we're
of the
at,
facts on the
what
plans
the
for the turf field.
next steps are, and they have a beautiful presentation that was shown at City Council today. So if somebody is interested in learning more about that, they can go to the City Council YouTube page to learn more about it. But I guess those are some very initial gut reactions to this idea of a 0.5% sales tax
Yeah.
coming the way of Minot. I mean, 8%.
Yeah, we'll be up to 8.
Oregon has 0,
It's crazy.
and they're liberals.
Yeah, very much so.
Well,
the big cities are.
Yeah, they're liberals, and that's what typically, like, people are like, oh yeah, California liberal, way too much in taxes.
Well, it's the left coast.
That's what people say, right? Well, Oregon liberal. People were upset about Oregon because of them allowing fentanyl to be, and everything that they did there.
Everything was decriminalized.
Right. Well, they have no sales tax, and people pump your gas for you. So think about that.
I don't like that.
You don't like it when people pump your gas for you.
like that.
He doesn't stop by the
I don't
new
like
Cinex.
it. I don't like it. Makes me feel weird. Is what it is. I'm one of those guys. But isn't it like...
We already knew you were one of those guys.
That's true. In New Jersey, isn't it like mandatory that they have to come out and pump gas?
In Oregon,
or is that
it is.
Oregon? Okay. As I know both, I think both
In
of
New
those
Jersey,
are
it
the two,
probably is too,
I think
but
those
Oregon's
are the two
the same way.
states where okay.
It is. You're not supposed to pump your own gas.
It is highly frowned upon.
So what happens is, this is a real thing. People, they'll get busy, right? Of course. And people will get tired of waiting. They'll just drive off with the pump still in the car.
Oh, no. So like half the videos or pictures you see of people dragging the pump around the side of their car is probably from Oregon.
Yeah. Or, yeah.
I love it.
Maybe. I don't know.
There's
It
a
doesn't
chance,
happen all the time.
But it happens.
It does happen.
There's a chance.
But yeah, very interesting. I would love to know your thoughts and reactions to the sales tax.
That's you, the viewer, not me.
Yeah, you, the viewer. We already got his. I think you've pretty much heard my opinion on it.
Yep.
I don't think I've decided whether or not I'm for or against it yet. I think I am against the idea that sales tax is going to be this way for us to get rid of property tax. That is not possible.
I agree with that.
That is not possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want that to be
the end goal
idea that people are going to have.
And on that note, unless you have something else you want to talk about with that, I saw one big headline, I think it was either today or yesterday, about a big road in town that's been closed for almost 2 years is finally set to reopen Friday.
That's exciting. One more thing on the sales tax.
We'll go back to that.
I think it's a good point that Miranda Schuler, friend of the show, says, for context, a 0.5% increase on sales tax to save approximately $15 a month on property. A homeowner would need to spend over $3,000 in a month and taxable purchases for it not to be beneficial based on my rough math. I still can't imagine sales tax being 12 to 15%.
That would be wild. What if, okay, how about this?
And I know that's taking it to an extreme.
Yeah,
I know that's taking it
just
to an extreme.
complete spitballing here. I'm just throwing stuff out here. I see what sticks. What if, say, that becomes like a statewide thing, statewide 10% sales tax, but then the state removes income tax?
No, the state doesn't need to tax us to remove income tax.
Which is, I don't think they do either. I'm just saying
it's already dirt cheap.
It is, and they're already obviously floating the idea of trying to remove it. But
right.
Would that? I have no idea what the numbers.
I don't think
are for either of
I think
those,
people are more fired up about property tax being removed than income tax.
100%, yeah, and that's a lot more. You're a lot more directly affected by that property tax in the state of North Dakota,
right? Because it comes down to the classic argument is the 65-year-old couple that owns their home and now has to pay $500 a month. So I don't know, but yeah,
it's a work in progress.
Deanne says it's also upkeep on the new turf and fixing any issues with it can be costly. I'm not sure not enough people use these kinds of niceties. Yeah.
That's the interesting thing. I wonder what would end up. Obviously, we'll have to talk with the park department, but I wonder if the indoor soccer league in the fall and winter would end up transferring there or something.
I personally cannot buy into the idea that we don't. I think we need more stuff to do in the winter.
100%. People, Minot in North Dakota already has the reputation of having nothing to do but drinking in the winter.
Right, and I will say this though. I think sometimes, sometimes people want stuff to do, but they don't necessarily want to pay for it, which I get. Things are tight.
Yeah, it's fair.
No lie.
I'm in that boat.
And B, they end up just staying at home.
It's a thing. It's
because
more and more common
nowadays. If it was something that was more feasible, it would be private. I think private businesses would take care of it.
Likely so. It would have been. You would see more options and things other than the Putt District downtown. There would be more things similar to that.
Yeah, in higher ground. That's one.
Yeah,
and they recently sold to it's not higher ground anymore. It's something else.
Is it still like the business is still operating though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And there's X Golf or whatever too, and there's options all over, but it's
and X Golf stays busy.
Exactly, they do,
it does.
Especially
and
in the
I'm
winter.
sure axe throwing stays busy.
Yeah, up your axe. It's a great time. And it's just one of those things that as someone in their mid to late 20s, I feel having more free options would be great that don't include drinking. But I feel I could be a minority in that too. So
right, no option. But the thing. Okay, so you're saying have entertainment options where alcohol is not on premises. Or that's what you're saying.
Or it doesn't have to be centered around that.
Yeah, but I think it basically has you're talking about a culture thing.
Yeah,
you're not talking about a deal.
You're right. I'm getting on a way bigger topic there.
Yeah.
That we don't need to dive into right now.
For sure.
No, that's fair. We could spend a whole episode on that. I'm sure.
I think that's just culture of North Dakota.
Yeah, 100%.
Miranda Schuler says the state sales tax needs to stay where it is on large purchases such as cars. Local tax, tax doesn't apply. Only state, which is a great point. And just to go back to Deanne, I do think it is important for upkeep to be remembered when you're talking about major additions like that indoor facility would be.
Because there will have to be some kind of staff that's hired to maintain the facility.
And you're going to have upkeep on the facility, on the turf, on the things like that. Eventually that turf is going to need to be
You're going to have replacement stuff for it. And lo and behold, as we've seen with city council, prices for stuff just haven't, don't typically go down. So
they should go make a deal with the state fair and use that arena for 1 year to determine how much need it is.
State Fair Center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the All Seasons Arena.
Yeah.
They use it for other things during the winter, so they couldn't.
Yeah.
But
that would be.
There's an idea.
Yeah. That would be. It's a thought. I love
It's definitely a thought. That's all I come up with. Don't come up with good ideas. It's only thoughts.
Yes. We're not saying it's good. We're just saying we're thinking about it.
It's a thought. All right. Railway Avenue reopens.
Yeah. Friday. That'll be.
You got any hot takes today?
Yeah. You go first, though. I'll let you start.
I go first today.
I'll let you start this time.
Sounds good. All right. I had this brilliant hot take. It's brilliant. Okay. So you're playing football. And this would be a classic thing that would happen to a Vikings running back. They get handed the ball and the defense is there.
You blow up the
It's looking like it's going to be a 5-yard loss. The running back starts running towards the sideline because, try to get around all the traffic and there's just no hope. Just throw the ball away then. Instead of trying to break all these tackles and stuff like that, give up a couple more yards so you have space and just chuck that ball out of bounds and there's no loss of yardage and we all live to see another down and everyone goes happy. And before you say it, because I already know your argument because I might have bounced this off you earlier, before we get that penalty for an eligible receiver downfield, which I believe is a 5-yard penalty.
Yep.
And you get to redo the down.
It's true.
Okay, worst case scenario, you take that 5-yard loss and you get another down to try to get it back.
So yeah, you'd be looking at either 1st and 15 or 2nd and 12. I think 1st and 15 takes the cake on that all day.
No matter what, it's a better scenario. The worst case scenario, which is the reason why people don't do it probably, because this is a big deal, is the chance of a turnover.
Yeah.
That's the big problem.
Lo and behold, you try to throw it and it doesn't quite make it out of bounds. Or
somebody's a little closer than you thought.
Yeah, and they just jump. You get one of those big, long-armed defensive linemen that reaches his up big mid up and it gets tipped, and then all of a sudden the linebacker's there to grab it.
Hey, Zach's with me on this. I thought the same thing during the Vikings trick play last week. Tackled for a 6-yard loss when it could been easily thrown away. Exactly, Zach.
There's a thought to this.
I honestly don't think I'm a proponent of it every single time, but there are certain runs where they are intentionally done to the outside and stuff like that, or you get those jet sweeps and things like that where you're giving up yards, where I think it should be thought about more. In those situations specifically, I think it should be thought about more. Yeah. There's times when you're running hard, like you get the ball and it's downfield, you're running downfield, and you get popped outside or whatever, and you give up 3 yards, and it shouldn't have been considered because you're breaking tackles to get those 3 yards. It's a terrible idea. But there are other times where there is space, and you're running into a wall, and there is no hope. You're just trying to get maybe 1 or 2 yards back.
Just get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's when it should be considered.
And then you can just, instead of that, you just do a little jump pass and try to throw it out of bounds.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I guess at that point, you got to make sure it's out of bounds. You got to make sure you're out of the pocket so you don't try to.
But getting out of the pocket on a running play is not that hard.
So long as it's not like a dive play, you're fine.
Right, yeah.
And I think, I don't see why not. And then, I think as you mentioned my point, I think your biggest concern would be some kind of ineligible lineman downfield.
Which I really don't think is a big deal on that play.
Because, like you said, it's a 5-yard penalty and repeating the down. So if it's 1st and 10, you run.
Yep.
And you're going to lose 2 yards. So you're looking at 2nd and 12 or 1st and 15. I'm taking 1st and 15 all day.
Most offenses would prefer another down to get. They think they can get 3 yards back and 1 down at least.
100%. I think so.
That's my hot take. You got one?
I like it. I do. I'm gonna go with football too.
All right, we're sticking on the team.
Yeah, we're going NFL today. So we're over halfway through the NFL season. I'm obviously, if you haven't figured it out, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. I don't, but my prediction doesn't revolve around them. It's going to revolve around the Detroit Lions, one of the most disappointing franchises to watch in the NFL in the last 50 years, up till about 2 years ago. All of a sudden now, they have arguably the best roster in the league. They have the best record in the league. There we go, words. Or in the NFC at least. The AFC, the Chiefs are still undefeated. But my hot take, the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl. I am going with Detroit winning the Super Bowl.
This is a very hot take coming off of a Chiefs team that just blocked a field goal.
For a win, you're darn right.
For a win.
I think the Lions, as disappointing as it would be to see the Lions win a Super Bowl before the Vikings, I think they're going to be the team. They're going to play the role of the 2007 Giants and be the team that takes down Goliath.
Now we've got to start ramping up the talk about the Chiefs going undefeated.
That's the thing. At what point do you start really mentioning that? All of a sudden, they're 9-0 now or 10-0? I mean,
9-0.
9-0.
So first question is this: Who's the second best coach in the Lions division? Is it Campbell? Or is it O'Connell?
I think
because the best coach is LaFleur.
I will gladly argue that, but I as of right now, if we're going to go with that, I would put Campbell ahead of O'Connell, but I think I would put O'Connell ahead of LaFleur, and I think the argument is it O'Connell or LaFleur or Campbell, but I just don't like Matt LaFleur either, so there's bias there. I won't deny that.
Hey, I'll say they've both done good with backup quarterbacks.
Matt LaFleur is a phenomenal coach. I'm not denying that. I just think Kevin O'Connell's better.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Fair
but
enough.
that's not the
reasonable.
point.
No, not at all.
Lions
Lions Super Bowl champions, going to take down the Chiefs. Regardless, even if the Chiefs lose a game by that point, they're going for their third Super Bowl.
The Lions should have lost their last game.
Yeah, they should have. They should.
And they came back,
the
which is that's the sign of a good team.
Exactly. They ended up scoring like 20 points in the fourth quarter to tie it up and went to overtime. Like it was, and on top of that, Jared Goff threw like 4 picks that game. It's insane.
People are leaving us because we're talking about sports, and that's all right. But I do want to shout out to the people that are remaining.
Yeah, if you are still listening.
On Thursday morning, 8 a.m., we're going to be back, Indie Talk, and we're going to be joined by this guy. You got it lined up. You let us know who we're going to be joined by.
It's our friend of the show, Mr. Zach Reckenrud.
Zach!
Former U.S. House candidate in 2020.
We're looking forward to it, Zach. So
I look forward to
8 a.m. on Thursday morning, Indie Talk with Zach Reckenrud. So the Lions going to the Super Bowl and winning it all, playing the role of the Giants. Obviously, they ain't going to be like the Giants because they actually going to be good.
Yeah, they're going to be a lot better. Giants barely snuck into the playoffs.
Yeah, they did. So that's one difference. Campbell's built different, dude.
Yes, he's wild, dude. He's one of those guys. Like it's.
And you're saying that they have this good roster?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would go and say this. Campbell made that roster good. Oh, not because he brought in the pieces. They traded Stafford away for
Goff.
And Stafford wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But he was able to build a culture that was winning or whatever, and that's the stuff that wins games.
People want to play for Dan Campbell.
There's the mention that people are actually saying, hey, I wouldn't mind going to the Lions, but there is a legitimate culture that you can build into a team.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of a team that does well every year. My classic would be the Oregon Ducks. They normally have a lot of wins and a few losses, but they never.
Up till this year, Alabama.
They never. Yeah, but Alabama, if they don't get the right culture, and they'll be a team that wins a lot of games and never wins championships.
And all of a sudden, they're turning into that as soon as Nick Saban's gone now.
I mean, you're calling that card very early.
They're turning into. I'm not saying they are.
Georgia's lost how many games this year? They've lost their second game.
That's the thing. This is going to be.
So you're going to say that Kirby Smart, who's won a couple of national championships, also didn't build that culture?
I'm just saying. I'm saying that Kalen DeBoer has not yet built it.
I'm saying, the guy was in the I kind of like the guy, so I am defending him a little bit. But he was in the national championship game last year with a team that wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And the year before, they were on the edge. That Washington Huskies team was very good. They were outside, but they were very good. Right. Yeah, and then the following year, they're in the national championship game.
Yep.
I think right now the SEC in general is going through some growing pains when you have Texas that's come in. I don't like the SEC, but they have a very tough conference this year.
They're the powerhouse, typically.
Yeah, this year they are.
Yeah, now especially now that they have Texas
and
Oklahoma.
I don't know that they'll win the national championship game. I don't know that they're the best teams out there, but they are there's a lot of teams that are very good, that are very close to each other.
The SEC has more good teams than any other conference.
It's not even that. There's just a lot of teams that are the same ability is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not, you don't have a team that's like just leaps and bounds above everybody.
There's a higher level of parity in that conference.
That's where they're at this year. And so you're seeing those losses stack up. That's me defending Kalen DeBoer. We're definitely going down some rabbit trails.
That's been fun.
But Campbell, I think he has built a culture of winning where Jared Goff comes from a Rams team that said, hey, we're done with you.
Yeah, they were ready to be. We tried. You're decent, but we think if we get rid of you, we're going to get someone that's going to win us a Super Bowl.
And Stafford did.
Is that one of the biggest win-win trades in recent NFL history?
Right. It's got to be. And now Goff is coming back to Super Bowl level because he's been there.
Exactly.
With the Rams. And so very interesting. Lions team. Very interesting take. What do you think about the blocked field goal?
That was nuts.
What did you think about the hot mic with Mahomes and the ref?
I don't dig into that stuff too much. I think he was just
jesting.
Yeah, giving him a little.
So the bigger deal
jab,
is, what do you think about the blocked field goal?
That was the most, it felt to me the most Chiefs way to win possible.
Yeah.
Like, of all things that could have happened, of course, they block a kick at the end to win by 2.
Yeah.
Like a 30-yard field goal or something that should have been, it was a chip shot. Unless he would have pulled a Blair Walsh from 2015, it was going to be No question about it.
I don't listen to much of Pat McAfee because of the terrible language that's there. But there was a comment that was made in
If we start
honestly
swearing like that, you think more people would watch us?
No. There was the title clickbaited because it was basically about like it was a setup.
Yeah.
That's what happened, but that's not what it was actually about. McAfee said that the tackle that was supposed to be blocking the left edge there, he had been slow all game or whatever, and they knew that, and they loaded that side because of it.
Okay.
And so it was actually coaching genius that put them in a position where they could actually do it.
That led to that.
It wasn't just making a defense coming in all riled up, this for the game. That's not what it was.
They schemed it into existence effectively.
Yeah. So very,
it.
very interesting.
I think this is just more proof that the Chiefs have, if not at least one of the top 2 or 3 coaching staffs in the league.
And we just got a press release.
Are we breaking news right now?
Yeah, we're breaking news. Dr. Logan Wood is the new Roosevelt Park Zoo director.
Oh, neat.
So lots of things are happening over there at the Minot Parks District.
Yeah, the Teddy Roosevelt statue got moved. And
Yeah,
it's out in
but
the parking
with the
lot now.
Parks District, they're going and proposing 0.5% sales tax, get back to the office, and announce a new director.
Look at that. It is a busy week for him. Busy
Yep.
Tuesday. So congratulations.
He's been
Logan.
a vet at the zoo since 2019, doctor of veterinary medicine, and holds a degree in animal science. So good for him.
That's
good for the zoo.
fantastic.
I
Love
know
to
that they
see
had
it.
recently let go of their other director, and so good that they were able to get that resolved quickly. All right. Well, this has been a good episode.
I think it was. It was great. We had Amanda Olson on, went over a lot of stuff that happened recently, and
We were on X.
exactly streaming on X. Might stream on Rumble soon. It'll be fun.
We can figure out technology.
And we'll get there, right?
We'll get there. So
Any parting words, Jonathan?
be safe. That's all I
love
got,
it.
man.
I love it. Be safe.
Sales tax is not the solution, but might be the solution for
Might-
this project.
might be
But
the-
it's not the solution for property tax.
I love it. I think that's
could be the solution for this. I'm not opposed to it here.
that's fair. I
Yet.
love it. Yeah, at least at this stage.
Yeah,
Perfect.
very good. You got any parting words?
I'm good to go.
I think my last parting word is this: join us at 8 a.m. on Thursday for Indie Talk with Zach Ragnar.
Exactly. We're going to have Dunseith updates. We're going to go over a ton of stuff with Zach. It's going to be a great conversation on Thursday morning. So, thanks so much for watching. It's been another great episode of Minot Talk. Make sure you tune in to mydakotan.com. Like us, subscribe. All the things, Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble now. We're everywhere. So make sure you check us out, and thanks so much for watching.